both from a devices perspective as well as from a services perspective. So from a devices perspective, if you look at the range of devices that Windows 8 empowers, these span across tablet devices, laptops, desktops, all-in-ones, and so on. And all of them sharing the same common operating system, which is Windows 8, which recently, of course, underwent a refresh, and you now have Windows 8.1. For those of you who mentioned that you've already started using Windows 8 in some flavor or the other, you would have realized that it not only has the traditional desktop mode, which is very similar to Windows 7, but it also has a touch-friendly new UI, and which is explicitly designed for touch-enabled machines. And if you think about it now, in terms of the ways phones have evolved, maybe 5 years ago, not many of us would have had touch-enabled phones, but right now, I guess pretty much all of us have access to touch-enabled phones, and this is because of the improvements in hardware and also in terms of reductions of cost to get to touch-enabled phone devices. The similar trend is quite likely to occur even with traditional laptops, desktops, and so on, wherein most of our current desktops and laptops may not be touch-enabled, but with the emergence of low-cost hardware and touch-enabled screens, they will become almost as commonplace as the way we take touch on our phones for granted today. So therefore, Windows 8 is designed keeping that trend in mind, that soon pretty much any screen will become a touch-enabled screen. And from a perspective of a developer, we in Microsoft kept in mind that many of you have existing skill sets. Your existing skill sets may be in .NET, might be in Java, might be in HTML, or JavaScript, might even be with C++. And what we try to do is to see how we can leverage your existing skill sets in order to be able to empower you to be able to build Windows Store apps. And you'll see that the current development model for Windows 8 supports not only our traditional .NET, C#, XAML, and so on, but also web technologies like HTML5, CSS, JavaScript, which are first-class citizens while building a Windows Store app. So which means that if you are even if you are a web developer and are familiar with HTML5, CSS, JavaScript, you are perfectly capable of building a Windows Store app. And you do not necessarily need to know only .NET or C# or XAML and so on. Similarly, if you're a C++ developer, there's a wide range of support available for you to create native Windows Store apps using C++. And we'll deep dive into all these options a little later in today's webinar. So moving on, in terms of the refresh that came in recently, which was Windows 8.1, we focused primarily on enabling the latest generation of hardware. As you know, that processor technology is improving. We've also introduced significant platform and UX improvements in terms of feedback that we've received from customers on Windows 8, and we've incorporated a lot of that feedback. And we also continue making Windows available on ARM architectures. So we don't just support Intel x86 architectures, but also support ARM architectures, and that's where you'll see the emergence of Windows 8 RT. Those of you who have used Windows 8.1 would have realized that we have a lot of improvements in terms of the personalized start and lock screens. You can now have multiple apps running at the same time and sharing screen space. There is a deep integration with Bing. There's deep SkyDrive integration, which means your apps can not only take advantage of local storage, but also cloud storage using SkyDrive. And of course, we have multiple tile sizes that are also available. If you've already built an app on Windows 8, it becomes a lot easier to move your app to Windows 8.1. But we've also embraced a whole bunch of standards, including WebGL, including various W3C standards as part of Windows 8.1. We also have W3C pointer event support to allow standardized touch, pen, and mouse support across your apps. There are a range of APIs that are available for you to take advantage of, which includes PDF rendering, text-to-speech, fingerprint reader support. We also support 3D printing, and some of you might have seen some videos that we've created around how Windows 8 is one of the first operating systems to actually support 3D printing. Of course, it's a different matter altogether that 3D printers themselves are not readily available in all geographies right now, but this is an emerging trend, and it's a very exciting trend that you could potentially have a 3D printer and you could create an app on Windows 8 which essentially enables you to create interesting artifacts, pretty much almost like a mini factory right within your house or within your office. And that technology is now empowered using Windows 8. Of course, the hardware technology around the 3D printers needs to become a little bit more easily available, and we expect that to happen over the next few years. But this is really a a thought leading kind of move in terms of being able to support 3D printing, because we definitely see that as an emerging technology that people will be interested in. Also, in terms of hardware innovation, you will also see smaller tablets. So while initially we used to support about 10.1 inch Windows tablets, we now have 8-inch Windows tablets also, so which means that you can have smaller form factors. And of course, we also support extremely large screens. So for example, there are some 32-inch plus inch devices that exist, especially in the all-in-one range, which are supported by Windows 8. Also extremely high resolution displays. The notebooks are thinner and lighter. The battery enabled all-in-ones are also opening up exciting scenarios. So for example, you could potentially have an all-in-one which is placed horizontally instead of vertically and being used almost like a tablet surface, wherein multiple people in the house could potentially use that computer during their leisure time. So all these, as an app builder, these open up really interesting opportunities for you to create interesting applications, games, as well as business solutions. The store itself is one of the mechanisms to make people aware that your app exists, and also helps you promote your app by having areas like the spotlight, which make it easy for users to access the most popular apps. In India, we've been working with a wide range of publishers, and one of the most recent exciting wins that we've had in India has been the IRCTC. So for example, I think most of you would have visited the IRCTC website at some point or the other to book a train ticket. And this is one of the, probably one of the world's largest, most frequently visited websites. Now, as many of you might have experienced, obviously the website has its limitations in terms of the user experience and so on. So it was felt that it would be really interesting to have a native Windows Store app through which you could be able to transact on the IRCTC backend. I'm pleased to kind of announce that the IRCTC app is currently live on the Windows Store, and I encourage all of you to try it out. Of course, it still requires that you need to set up a login on the IRCTC website before you are actually able to use the app. But once you've done that initial setup, then you can actually go ahead and experience the IRCTC app in a native Windows Store mode. And the interesting thing is that this currently doesn't exist in any other platform. It currently exists only on Windows Phone 8 and Windows 8. And this kind of illustrates to you about one of the key growth areas that we're seeing in the tablet market, that even though we as Microsoft might have been slightly later in the game in terms of targeting the tablet market, there is definitely strong momentum that we're seeing, and the fact that really big apps like these are emerging on the store makes it something that all developers should definitely consider in terms of expanding your own horizon. I'll also talk about certain resources that we have for those amongst you who might already be building apps for other platforms like iOS and Android, and how you can take that existing knowledge that you might have about building apps for tablets or phones using other platforms like iOS and Android, and port that over to Windows 8 also to expand the base of customers that you might want to target. And there are specific resources that we have for developers who might have pre-existing apps on other platforms and who want to make sure that the porting experience is as seamless as possible or involves a minimum amount of code changes. For those of you, there were a small percentage of folks who said that they were not completely familiar with Windows 8. So I'll spend just about a minute or two to show you a little bit about what Windows 8 looks like. And if you see the start screen right now, hopefully all of you are able to see the start screen. You'll notice that in addition to the various apps that are available as tiles on my screen, I also have live tiles. And so, for example, I have a finance app which shows me today's Sensex chart. So you'll see that there is a chart with the Sensex, similarly the Nasdaq, and so on. And this power of having live tiles, wherein you don't just have static icons on your start screen, but these tiles actually are conveying some interesting content. So, for example, in the weather app, you'll see that it's showing me that the weather in Mumbai, where I'm currently located, is about 28 degrees Celsius. The air is slightly smoky. Hopefully, there's no fire around in the building nearby. I guess it's just probably smoggy. Similarly, the news app shows me some news and so on, and this keeps changing as the day passes by. And similarly, if I want to actually click through within a particular application and see details, like in this case, I've clicked the finance app and I want to see the details of the Sensex, I'm able to do that also just like you would normally expect for any other app. But the concept of live tiles is unique because Windows is probably the only operating system right now that has this concept of having smart start screens which have live tiles and the ability to be able to show you dynamic data. Now this gives you as a programmer immense opportunity because you can now start thinking about features that you can add to existing apps which will take advantage of the concept of live tiles, which will take advantage of the concept of push notifications and so on, such that your end user or your customer of your app can get a much better experience with the overall scenarios that you're creating for them. The thought that many of you might be going through your mind is all this is great from a consumer perspective, but what about the enterprise? How does Windows 8 offer me an opportunity if my day job is not about creating consumer apps that go onto a store, but if my day job is about creating line of business applications, which are related to B2B scenarios, which are related to commercial scenarios, and which may not be related to apps that are going onto a store, but might be apps which are working in an intranet mode, for example. The good news is that over 200 million information workers have said that they would like to use a Microsoft Windows tablet for work, and there is a strong move within enterprises to consider Windows 8 as the next procurement for their office machines. Now, what this indicates to you is that this is a growing opportunity for you as a line of business app solution provider or a commercial app builder to consider the Windows 8 platform and all the associated features in the platform in your next project or in your next solution. From a store perspective, there are close to about 100,000 apps in the Windows Store, and these include top apps like Hulu, Netflix, Twitter, Facebook, and so on. And of course, I encourage you to try out the store yourself. But we'll quickly dive into what would it